Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Grue Rume. And for the Grue Rume today, we got a great guest, and his name is Drez Ryan. He's a great actor, and he's in a couple horror things that I want to talk about. A horror, a horror short, horror movie, and one of the horror films he's in. He's in there with horror icon D Wallace. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Drez today. And I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume. And my interview with Drez is coming up next. Okay, welcome to Grue, and thank you so much for coming on the show and being a guest today.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me, dude.
Of course. It's gonna be fun. I was really looking forward to talking to you. I see you've done like some horror stuff, so definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do it.
All right. So first thing I want to ask you is what drew you to want to act?
Oh man. Well, that was a situation where I was just tired of doing, I don't know if you can curse on the Grue Rume, but BS job. Okay, bullshit jobs. Yeah, I was 20 years old, and I was just, working different jobs here and there, and just kind of, had that question, like, what do I want to do with my life? Like, what's my career going to be? And I never really did anything growing up as far as theater goes. I mean, I was more into sports. I played football growing up. But I did do like some skits for this after school program I was in, but I never looked at it as acting. I just kind of looked at it as something fun to do. Yeah. But I was like, that could be something, fuck it, whatever. So I literally was like, all right, let's try that. Like, let's try something. So, and, me being just a, regular dude that just worked regular jobs, I was like, well, how do you find a job? And I was like, well, you go on Craigslist. So,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I went on Craigslist looking for acting work, and luckily I found something that was legit, nothing shady, and it just went on from there, man.
Nice. Yeah, because I mean, I even tried my hand with films with acting, and one of the first films I got was on Craigslist. It was
man. I mean, they're there, like, it's like I said, it obviously is a lot of stuff you might not want to get involved in. Whatever you're into, it's whatever. But there was a few, like, especially when it's local, low budget things, and they're trying to like fill the cast and get the thing shot. Which is what was happening. And I was lucky enough to get a part in it with literally no training or no knowledge of of acting or the acting world whatsoever. So I was very lucky.
Awesome. Yeah, like my first thing I got on Craigslist, it was actually a horror student film that one of the colleges was shooting the one of the students was shooting a horror film for his class, and he needed someone to play a demon, so they hired me for that and put me in makeup and all that stuff, and it was it was fun though.
I mean, student films is a great way to get some experience, man. I did a few of those early on, so no shame about that one whatsoever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and I mean, I can only hope that nobody will ever see it. So
I know, exactly. The facial expressions on people's faces, like I was dressed up like a demon running across the college campus, like the actual like ground, and I don't think they knew a film was being shot. All they saw was this guy all they saw was this demon running across campus, and everyone was like screaming and like dropping their books and running against trees and stuff. And
oh my gosh, yeah, you gotta let folks know when you're shooting stuff like that, man. I mean, even the big production, especially when there's like gunfire, so I'm like, hey, you're gonna hear gunshots, don't worry, we're shooting something. Especially you're gonna have a demon running through the campus. College kids are on edge anyway, so you gotta be careful, man.
True, you're right. So, what was what was the first role you ever got, like, speaking
Yeah,
role and stuff?
yeah. The first that it was the one I found on Craigslist. It was called American IED. I don't know what the IED stand for. I don't think it was like a explosive device or anything like
Yeah,
that. I don't remember what it, because there was no like explosions in the movie, so I was like I don't think that's what it stands for. But yeah, I got like some. I auditioned for the lead for like one of the lead parts. Obviously, I didn't get it, but
yeah.
they were, I guess, impressed enough with me to put me in their movie at all. So I got like a little part where I got to like jump off a balcony, and not a
Nice.
balcony, but like a ledge, and like say some, I don't even remember what I said. But yeah, it was it was just it was just something that I did. And I mean, but it was really, it was beautiful because, like I said, I came into that situation with no knowledge, no experience
Hmm.
whatsoever. And literally being even on a set like that, where it's like very small, very low budget, very small crew, I was enamored with the process of
Oh
making the
yeah.
movie. And I mean, from that day I fell in love with it. So I mean, yeah, that was it. I mean, I don't, and you, if you asked me what the movie was about, couldn't tell you, dude. Could not could not tell you, man.
And
I don't remember what I said. I don't remember my character's name. I don't remember the plot. Nothing. I remember railroad tracks. That's all I really remember.
it's just all big blur.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I was just like caught up in the whirlwind and the nerves, and so yeah, it was all just fuzzy, man.
Okay. And I see you've done a lot of horror shorts, and I wanted to ask you, like, what do you love best about doing horror films?
The energy. I love the energy, man. I love just like the high stakes. There's not much more imperative than a life or death situation. You know what I'm saying? When your life's on the line, you'll do whatever you got to do to get the hell out of
Sure, that's
there.
true.
So
You're right.
it's like immediate. There's immediate, just extreme circumstance. And I'm also like I'm a stickler for horror movies, man. Like I love the horror genre, so I'm a
Nice.
stickler. And so when a movie they start doing really just stereotypical dumb horror movie stuff like the characters do, and
Hmm.
it's like, oh yeah, of course. Like I was watching this movie, man. I'm not gonna say any names, obviously. I was watching this movie, and there's the scene where somebody, like, they're in a car, and the car works just fine, right? Car
Yeah.
works fine, hasn't had a problem throughout the whole movie. So the antagonist rolls up on him. All of a sudden, the windows don't work. I'm like, where did that even come from? Like, come on, you just forcing the stuff now. So I I love horror movies, but I'm a big stickler, man. When it's like real forced circumstance, where it's like a situation where it's like, oh, you made that happen just so the
Hmm.
person could be in danger. It's not like a natural thing that would happen
Exactly.
in the situation,
Exactly.
you know. So, but yeah, no, I love, like I said, I just love the energy, man. I love the it's, I think it's a beautiful vessel for telling
Oh,
stories,
definitely.
because yeah, for telling stories, man, because you can pack a lot into a horror movie. You can pack in, like, social commentary, economical commentary. I mean, you can pack in a lot of different, themes and messages into the horror genre, which it may not be apparent on the surface, but once you start digging into it, you can do a lot with it.
Now, I mean, me per like my favorite films are horror films, and I love horror films and horror conventions and all that
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff. Like Halloween is coming up soon,
Yeah,
and
man.
that's my favorite time of the year, when the fall starts and Halloween season comes, and haunted
Yeah.
houses and hay rides and all that stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's a fun time, dude. It's a hell of a time.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Where you? Can I ask where you're from?
Philly,
Are you from Philly? Okay,
yeah,
cool. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I got a guy I grew up. I went to high school. He's actually my best friend in high school. He's actually from Philly too. So
Oh yeah, really?
he's actually one of Dave Chappelle's bodyguards right now. So I mean, yeah,
Wow.
he's having a good time.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Yeah, yeah, I went to high school with him, and yeah, he was from Philly, but yeah, he's
Oh,
doing well for himself now.
yeah, nice. I mean, hell, you're as long as you stay with him, you're pretty much set.
No, yeah, no, he's yeah. You're working for Dave Chappelle. I don't think you'll be out of a job anytime soon.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
When you first read the script for Night Courier,
Ah,
um, what was like your first thoughts when you saw the role that you were going to be playing for the film?
well, I can't tell you my first thought because I would give away too much of the script.
Okay.
Uh, so my first thought actually was how dope it's gonna be. That was really
Nice.
my first thought because for one, who I'm acting with, Emily Tynan McDaniel, who's playing the courier. We used to take acting class together. We've worked together multiple times on different shorts and stuff like that. And
Okay.
I'm a mega fan of hers, and I know she has just her acting ability is separate. It's awesome, but it's separate from her just overall presence when she comes on screen. So when I'm reading this script and when I read, I'm basically watching a movie in my head as I'm
Yeah.
reading. I have a very like visual, the way my brain works is it's cinematic. So I'm basically watching a movie as I'm reading the thing, and I'm seeing her do all this shit and like be in these places and committing these acts, and I'm just like, this shit's gonna be dope. Like I cannot, I can't wait to, and I get to, not to give too much away, but I get to, tussle with her a little bit. So it's a little,
Nice.
little stage combat coming in there.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, that was my first thought. Like this is a cool ass. It's a really cool just idea, and the way it's written and the way it's portrayed on screen, I think is even better, man.
Now, would you call this a horror film or a thriller film?
That's tough. I'd say it's a little bit of both, man.
Okay.
Because obviously, there are mythical creatures and monsters or whatever involved, but there's also just like the cat and mouse of
Yeah.
Courier and I.
Yeah.
So there's
Exactly.
the thriller aspect of the cat and mouse, but then there's also the horror aspect of like the monsters and the mythology and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, a little bit of both.
Sweet. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know you can't talk a lot about the film. The question, what made you want to play the role?
Oh man, it was a challenge. It's not any kind of role I've ever played before in my life.
Oh
So
wow.
the challenge of being just kind of living, inhabiting the space of a guy like the man, because he like I said, he's just a stark different from me. He's a very isolated individual. He doesn't have a lot of friends, doesn't have a lot of family. He's not necessarily not a degenerate, but he's made he's made choices in his life that has put him in compromising situations. And he's a bit of a hothead. He's got a temper.
Okay.
He's rough around the edges, but he's trying to. He's one of those guys where, as much as he tries to stay straight, just there's something always calling him left or right. You know what I'm saying? There's always some kind of temptation that he falls victim to. So I mean, that part I get, but just the other part of him just being kind of this more darker and more burdened individual it was a challenge that I was really excited to get the opportunity to take on.
Okay. Do you ever watch like the WWE?
Oh, dude, I was waiting for you to ask about that. I was waiting for you to bring that up. I mean,
to
be honest,
triggered something when you said degenerate. I was thinking of Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Generation X. Yeah. No, that's the thing, because I was going to say that I not necessarily now, because I'm just, I kind of you know, it's just I watch it every now and then and try to keep up what's going on. But I grew up in the Attitude Era.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I love that, man. So I mean,
Nice.
no disrespect to what they're doing now, but I mean, I grew up in the Attitude Era, man. So if it's not like that, I'm not like in it like I used to be. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Well,
I grew up with. I mean, I mean, you know, man. You know, you got the Stone Colds and the Rocks and the Undertakers,
yes.
and you know. I love even Shawn Michaels was like a little bit before my time, but he leaked into the Attitude Era, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the Triple H's, man, and it just you know, I even go further back. I grew up loving wrestling, man. It was I loved it, man. Growing up, my favorite wrestlers were Shawn Michaels, Superfly Snuka,
oh, wow.
Ultimate Warrior, Undertaker, obviously, and then like it was like a toss up between Rock and Stone Cold. Like it was a toss up, man. You know, that was, and actually, you know what, Underdog, I used to love Razor Ramon. I don't know why, but I used to love Razor Ramon, man.
Hey, Chico.
yeah, man. Oh my, and it was crazy when I heard him like talk normal one time. I was like, oh, you don't talk like that. But then, you know, obviously, you know, as you get older, you realize that, you know, a lot of those personas are, you know, manufactured personas that you know.
Of course.
Yeah. But I mean, as a kid, I was like, you know, it was real to me. I remember my dad trying to explain to me that wrestling wasn't real and feeling like attacked. Like like I felt so upset. I'm like, yes, it is. Like, look at this. How can you say this is fake? You know what I'm saying? So. And it's not fake. It's real in its own right, because you know,
exactly.
They definitely are athletes. They definitely get hurt. They definitely go at it. So I mean, yeah, I grew up being a big fan, man.
Nice. Yeah, like my favorites was Randy Savage.
Oh yeah,
the Macho Man. Like I always loved him.
Dude. I have. Do you remember the like stuffed Tonka toys where the arms would just stay like this?
Yeah.
You remember those?
Yeah.
Dude, I still have my Hulk Hogan one. I still have it to this day. Like I had a Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior one. I don't know what happened to Ultimate Warrior, but I still got my Hulk Hogan though.
Nice.
The Tonka toy. It stands like this. That's all it does.
Well, yeah, I got the Randy Savage one.
Nice, man. Yeah. Macho Man, dope, man. I
love Mach.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I used to just thrash my vocal cords trying to sound like him, man.
It was Mach, Taker, and Chris Jericho and Sting.
Jericho.
I loved them.
Sting was damn. I forgot about Sting. Sting was Sting was real cool, and then Goldberg was dope when he came out. Oh man, taking me back now, dude. Oh man, I remember when Rock finally became Rock, like when he like got away from the Nation of Domination, when he came into his own.
Yeah,
dude, when that If You Smell hit, like I lost it every freaking time. I was the biggest Rock fan, man. And then like the times where Taker would disappear and come back, and then they would be like, "Oh, you got a surprise opponent," and then all the lights would go off, and you hear the tombstone, the church bell or whatever you call it. Oh my gosh, dude, you used to lose it, man.
That was like the best when the lights would go out and you hear the gong, like the hair on your arm would actually stand up when because they would make it so cold in the building, like if you ever saw it live when the Undertaker
I never got to go live. That's the thing. Yeah, I never got to go live.
When Undertaker comes out to the ring, the lights go out, it's pitch black, and you hear the gong, and then the fog's coming up from, and then it gets like super, super cold. I don't know what they do, but it gets eerie cold, and it's crazy.
Awesome. That's awesome, man. I didn't know they did that. That's awesome, dude.
and you were actually in another horror film, The Nest.
Yeah, man.
So how did I mean, I know you can't talk about the other film because it's not out yet, but Nest is out, so you could probably talk about that.
Yeah. No, yeah. It's available to the public now, so all bets are off.
But how did you wind up finding out about the film and getting the role?
Well, it's well, for one, the production company is a production company out of the town where I got my start. I'm based out of Atlanta now.
Okay.
But the town where I got my start is actually Asheville, North Carolina. And the production company's out of Asheville. And I've mutual friends that I know. I've worked with them before, and I've met the guy that runs it before. And also the woman that wrote the movie, Jennifer Trudrung, who is crazy talented, bro. We actually used to go to acting class together. So so that was, I did have a foot in the door to get an audition. I didn't just get the role, I did have to audition. So I don't want everybody to think, oh, yeah, you got friends. It's like, yes, I had a friend that got me an audition, but they gave me an audition because they seen my stuff before. It wasn't just I was just a buddy, it's like, no, he can do his thing. So let's give him a shot. So yeah, they let me audition. I auditioned, and they got the part.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what role did you wind up playing for the film?
Yeah, I played the role of Ash, which is the school guidance counselor at Maggie's school, which is obviously one of the mains of little girl in the nest, who is she's I guess, for the main cast, she's the first one technically infected. I guess you could say, she's the first one get infested. And so she becomes basically what gets, everybody else infested and gets the colony going for, and sets up the queen, which is her mom. So I play the school guidance counselor, and I know in the movie, I know the mom personally. She used to actually work at the school, but then she had a bout with she had an addiction, and that kind of made her have to step away from her position, and that put a lot of strain on the family. And so we used to be co-workers, and then obviously with working at the school, I work with her daughter as well. And then once her daughter gets infected, obviously she takes a 180 turn, and she goes from being this bubbly, just an average, normal little girl to this really just dark and just troubled individual. So as a guidance counselor, I noticed the issue she's having. So we start having these meetings and discussing what's going on. I'm trying to help her, and obviously things kind of go another way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And how was it like working with the cast? Like, do you actually get to do scenes or talk to the horror icon D Wallace?
Yeah, man, I got to meet her. I got to work with her, and
Nice.
She's real nice. I mean, pure professional. Obviously, she's been doing this for since before my time. So I mean, she knows what she's doing, and she's got it down pat. So I got to meet her. I got to do a couple of scenes with her. I think only one of this. No, two. I think I did 3 scenes with her. I think two of them made it. 2 of them made it into the movie though.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, I got to do a couple of scenes with her. Got to work with her. And yeah, it was really cool, man, to just kind of be sharing the screen with somebody who's, like I said, literally iconic.
Oh, I know.
From E.T. to Cujo, man.
Yes.
It's just like, come on, bro. Like, those are some of the biggest movies of all time.
Exactly.
I mean, it's like, and I'm just like, sitting here having a conversation with her like she's, a coworker, which she was at the time.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was in the film.
Coworker that gets, a coworker that gets paid a lot more money. A lot more money. It's okay. I'm working on it. She earned it though. She earned her money.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Like, she has paid her dues. She's made her name. She deserves every dollar she gets, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, if you go on IMDb and look up D D Wallace. For
Yeah,
anyone who's living under a rock and don't know who D Wallace is, like,
dude, the track record is crazy.
do you see how many film credits she has?
A lot. Yeah, I seen it.
Yes, it's
Trust me, I looked.
crazy.
I stopped scrolling after a while. I'm like, well, I get it. There's a lot of them. All right, cool. I get it. I understand. I don't need to feel smaller.
And how was the set like for the Nest? How was working on the set like?
Real, like one of the most chill sets I've ever been on. I mean, don't get me wrong, professional and extremely efficient and well organized, but just so relaxed. Everybody was so chill. Like I don't remember once anybody, on sets can get hectic, man. There's, especially like the bigger ones, bigger studio sets where there's literally hundreds of people working on one movie. And, you get that many, cooks in the kitchen and shit can go get a little crazy. And they had a pretty good sized crew. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's extremely efficient and extremely relaxed and comfortable. Real comfortable, man. Like it was just, obviously there was the natural pressure of wanting to have a good performance, obviously. Mm-hmm. But as far as the added pressure of the set, there was none of that, man. It was real cool. It was just like, we all came prepared. We all knew what the assignment was, and we executed, and that's all they asked of us. And that's the thing, when you have people like D Wallace, and obviously Sarah, the lead, and Kevin, who played her husband, and then Maggie. Yeah, obviously, I think this might have been her first, feature film role, but she did her shit. When you have those people they're very well versed in their craft. They know what they're doing. They know how to create and build a character, to give it life, to be genuine and authentic in the moment, and all the things a great performance requires. So, the director and the crew, they didn't have to do much. They just had to point the camera and shoot, man. I mean, not saying they did a lot. Now, I don't want that. I don't want that to go. See, that's something that can go left. Oh, they didn't do a whole lot. Crews sat around on their ass, like not at all, man. No, they did. The crews worked the absolute hardest out of anybody in the movie making process, man. Crews, I got utmost respect for the crew. So what I mean is that it wasn't like a whole lot of, I guess. They didn't have to really get their hands on the actors as much, because we all came prepared. Well, so it was like a note here, a note there, boom, cool, let's move on. That was great, So I mean, it was so smooth. So it was actually easy to forget how much work goes into making a movie because of how smooth it went. At least while I was there. I was only there for a couple of days, so maybe other days were a little bit more taxing, but the days I was there was smooth as butter, man.
Sweet, nice. And what scene did you like best from the Nest?
Well, I would have to say it would be the scene in the hallway when I'm talking to Sarah about Maggie after we had like the group meeting. We had a group meeting where Sarah comes to the school and we're sitting down in my office, and Maggie's there, and we're talking about, because Maggie she keeps saying her stomach hurts. She wants to go home. And, we're like, well, does it really hurt? Or you just want to go home and be with your mom? And, that whole thing. But it's actually a very trying time for the family. The family's actually going through a lot right now. Mm-hmm. So, and Maggie and I, with being previous coworkers and somewhat friends in our past, I pull her out we go out into the hallway to have a little conversation about what just happened and what's happening and what I think should happen going forward. And we just have this real genuine and authentic, just heart to heart moment. We just literally we're talking to each other as friends, as people who, I'm talking to her as a person who cares for her and, the welfare of her daughter. And she's confiding in me as a trusted friend and a trusted, a counselor for her daughter. So, I mean, it was just, for me, it was just a really beautiful scene because we were able to trust each other fully in that situation. Sarah and I, we had just met that day before we filmed it. So we didn't have any history together. But we were able to really develop a connection really fast and really quick, and then, put it on camera.
awesome. Sorry, I was moving around during that. My
It's
computer
okay.
told me the battery was low, and I thought I had my laptop plugged into the wall, but I didn't.
Hey man, I hear you. I do shit like that all the time. I remember one time I was looking for my phone while I was talking on it, dude. Literally on the phone, like, hold on, man, I cannot find my phone. Wait, hold on, give me a second. I put it down and went look for my phone. That's how bad I get sometimes, man. So I get it, bro.
Yeah, I'm over here. I'm over here listening to you talking, and all of a sudden, a big blue box comes up on my laptop saying your battery is about to die. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh shit, it's not plugged in.
It's all good, man. It's all good. We're still here, so it's all good.
Exactly. During the days you filmed it, was there any I mean, I always ask guests this because they always have some kind of like cool, funny story. Was there any cool or funny stories that happened behind the scenes while you were filming the Nets?
I mean, it was overall a good time, but as far as like just kind of quirky things,
Yeah.
I guess there was one is I guess how badly I struggled with sewing up a teddy bear. I have literally no skills in that area as far as like sewing, knitting, seams.
Okay.
So there's a scene where, you know, we're all infected and we're in the house and we're making new teddy bears so we can keep spreading this thing around. And, you know, they gave me the needle and thread and the teddy bear is already like, you know, sliced open and like, all right, we're going to get a close up of you sewing this bear shut. I'm like, heard. so I start trying to do it and I can't even get the damn needle into the bear because the doggone skin's so thick. So I'm literally just fumbling and the string comes out and I'm like picking up the string like, sorry, let me try this again. Try to put it in there, then I stab myself in the hand like I have the worst luck when they do close-ups of my hands doing things. I just worked on this movie in Atlanta just like a few weeks ago. And there was a scene where I had to drop, they had a over the head camera shot and I had to drop some dice like in the frame.
Okay.
I dropped it like 5 times. Every time I dropped the dice, one rolled off the table. Every damn time. And it's just like, we just need the dice to fall right here. And I was like, cool, I got you.
Oh my God.
Try it again. Drop the dice, rolled off the table. Okay, hold on. My bad. Let me just do a little softer. I just like gently open my hand. Thing shot the hell out. I'm like, what is happening right now? So I got bad luck with hand close-ups, man. I fumble every time, dude.
Well, you know, your next film, tell them you don't want your hands in it.
Sure. I mean, I hope. I mean, I can't wait for the day where I can put shit like that in my contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, listen, if you want to do some hand stuff close up, got to get my stunt double in here. I don't want to do the hand stuff. I got sensitive hands. I can't be on camera.
Right, exactly.
Oh man. Gosh.
I also saw you were part of a Stephen King short. Yeah.
I've actually got to, oddly enough, I've got to do a few Stephen King things, but yeah, I got to.
Really?
Yeah, I got to do I got to do the short with, again, Jennifer Trudrum. She wrote it. Here There Be Tigers. I got to be in that. And then I also had a couple episodes on this show called The Outsider a few years back. That was on HBO. Okay. So, I mean, and that was a Stephen King novel that show was based off of. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm seeing a trend here, man. I need to get Stephen on the phone. Like, hey, man, I keep fitting into your projects that come from you. So let me get a bigger shot at one of your next ones, you know?
I mean, the guy has wrote book after book after book. There's many, there's so much you could do, like some TV series, shorts, films. I mean, Stephen King's It is like one of my favorite horror movies.
Love it.
I mean, I like both versions, the old one and the newer one.
I still haven't watched the original version. My aunt, I remember when I was a kid, my aunt had the VHS and she never let me watch it, obviously. but but I remember seeing it every
Pennywise
time I
was
went to
scared.
her house. I'm just like, I want to watch this movie. Like, I want to watch the creepy clown movie, but she never let me watch it. So I still haven't sat down and watched the original, which I
Okay.
should, because even though I can't remember his name right now, I'm a big fan of the guy that played the original It. I can't remember.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, yes, thank
Yeah.
you. But yeah, he's awesome. So I mean, you know, obviously Rocky Horror Picture Show,
Yes.
It, you know. So I mean, yeah,
Yes.
that dude's awesome. So I would love to. I'm gonna watch the original eventually. I just haven't yet.
Okay. You know, like a lot of people think I'm nuts for saying this. Like the newer It. Like I like the film better than the old one, but for the clown, I think Tim Curry did a better job than Bill Skarsgård did.
Yeah.
But Bill Skarsgård was good. Like, I'm not saying I didn't like him.
He did a good job.
He did a really good job as Pennywise, especially that creepy smile.
Dude, and that's actually his mouth doing that too. That's the crazy part.
I know.
Like, I saw him do it like with no makeup on. I'm just like, oh shit, that's you. Like, I'm thinking prosthetics all day, but he could just do that with his mouth. I was like, well, that's why you got the role right there. I mean, besides he can act, but I'm just saying, like, who else can do that with their mouth?
Yeah, exactly.
His face had to be so sore after doing that for like, 12, 16 hours a day.
I'm sure.
That face, had to be horrible.
And the funny thing with that, like I was listening to a interview that Bill Skarsgård was doing, because Bill Skarsgård is too big to come on my show.
Only for now, man. Only for now. It's all right. Just wait on it. It's coming, dude. Only for now.
So I was listening to an interview he did, and he had the whole outfit on Pennywise. He stood in character, and like the kids were actually like really scared of him, because he was in Pennywise character when he was in the outfit. Like, he did not break character.
Shit, I'd be creeped out too. I'm a 31-year-old man. I'd be like, dude, you gonna stop that shit soon, or what's up? Like, I'm trying to have a regular I'm trying to see what you want for lunch, and you give me this Pennywise shit. Like, hold on. Damn, come on, man.
I know you say you're a big horror fan. What are some horror films you love watching?
Oh man, let's see. One I feel like is not talked about enough is The Skeleton Key. You remember that one?
I love that movie. Yes.
Yeah, Skeleton Key that's one of them ones growing up that one creeped the hell out of me. Especially with my upbringing, man. I grew up in a Baptist church, so voodoo was a big no-no. So that really creeped me out as a kid. And then what was another one? It's not really a horror, but The Sixth Sense creeped me out as a kid. I don't know why. Like, I love it now, but as a kid, it actually freaked me out. But, well, mostly because obviously, one of the main characters was a kid, and he's like in his room seeing ghosts. So I'm thinking, like, when I get home, that's what I'm gonna see. Of course, why not? Now that I know you can. But yeah, so yeah, Skeleton Key. Oh, dude, completely camp now, but at the time, just couldn't do it. Candyman. I could not sleep for a week after I watched Candyman. But then again, maybe I should have been like 8 watching Candyman. But at the same time, it's a good memory to have. I remember seeing that, and it's like, and I already got a thing with bees. Yeah. So, that whole thing with the bees and the honey and the hand and the hook, and I was like, So yeah, Candyman, Skeleton Key, Sixth Sense. More recent ones, Hereditary was
that was really good.
I loved Hereditary, man. Mm-hmm. That one was real. I mean, that one to me was just a good movie.
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It was obviously it was real creepy, and like, got a little weird with the whole cult. But I mean, it was in the naked old people, obviously. But that was the part I was like, I mean, I get it, but I didn't need to see it. I get it, but I didn't need to see it. I know.
Yeah. That was a bad
but I mean, it added
visual.
to the level of like weirdness. Yeah, it's just like, oh, she's and he's okay. But yeah, so that one, yeah, I mean that. Let me see, any ones that I can think of, top of my head. I think that's all I can think about top. I mean, there's a lot of them I love, but that's all I can think about top of my head. But I love some real like shitty, like I love like real campy, cult classics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. So,
like one of my favorite like cheesy, really bad horror films is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh wow, okay, I see where you're going. Let me see. Damn, I can't think. Crap, I can't think of one to beat that. Sorry, you got it.
Did you ever see that one?
No, I never
Space?
Watched that one. No, man.
One night, if you just wanted to sit back and just laugh, it's a really bad cheesy horror film. It's funny. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, like it's a good bad film.
I like that, man. Just a side note, this is off topic, but talk about like bad, real cheesy movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think I haven't watched it since I was a kid, but I just watched Space Truckers the other day. You remember that one?
I do. Yes.
I watched that for the first time in years, like last week. I was like, this movie feels familiar. Like I'm looking at the trailer, I'm just like, I know this movie. I started watching. I'm like, I remember. I remember I had a big crush on the woman in that movie. I can't remember her name.
Nice.
But I mean, I was watching. And I was like, and it's crazy. I was like, this was in theaters. This was like a big, like this was in movie. It was like a major release movie, and I was like, I'm watching it, and there was this, and then obviously they're in space, and there are scenes where there's zero gravity, so people like flying and flipping through the air, and you can see the suspension cables holding them up. And I'm like, wait, this is a Hollywood mainstream movie. You can see the cables holding the people up while they're flipping in the supposed zero gravity. I'm like, this is beautiful. I love this shit.
You're right.
I love stuff like that, man. Also, I forgot to mention the movie I love, horror movie, Jeepers Creepers. Love Jeepers Creepers.
Yes.
The first one. The second one's okay. Third one, no thanks. But the first one, for dope.
Well, they're making the fourth one, right?
Yeah, I know, man. I know. I know, man. I mean, I get it. I understand. It's a very popular movie in the genre.
It is, yeah.
People love Jeepers Creepers. It's a great the monster. I don't know what it is. Demon, whatever he is. It's a great character. It's a great monster. Like as far as like movie mythological creatures, I think it's one of the best ones, at least in the first one. But just sometimes you just gotta let things be, man.
Exactly.
Gotta let it be where it is. But that being said, I am excited about the fourth Matrix movie. That being said,
okay.
I am excited. I'm a big Matrix nerd, man. So
nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what about songs? Like, what's on your playlist?
Oh man, that's wide right there. Let me see. What's on my playlist? Let me see. Dude, my playlist ranges from. There's like the current stuff with like I'll be listening to like the Billie Eilish, and then I'll be listening like to Tupac and Outkast, and then I'll be listening to Queen, and then I'll be listening to Prince, and then it's just it jumps around. It literally depends on how I feel that day.
Okay.
Like literally depends. And also, I really appreciate you because one of my favorite covers of all time is this Disturbed Sounds of Silence. Nice. And you put that on it literally is one of my favorite covers of all time. And when you put that on the Instagram, so I was like, dude, me and this guy are like on the same wavelength. I was like, because he did not know that's one of my favorite covers of all time, and he put that song on there. So literally, like, when Disturbed It Sounds of Silence, man, I was blown away, dude. That was a great cover.
That really was like, and plus, like, that band is just really good.
Oh, Oh yeah. It's funny. I think about every time now. It's. I mean, I do love Disturbed, but now every time I think about them, I can't help but get. I think it's. Is it Day of the Dead? Which one is it when they're in the mall? You remember that one?
Yeah, it's yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Day of the Dead.
Okay, yeah, when they're in the mall, it's got Bing Rames.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one. So there's that part where they're up on the roof and they're sending messages to the guy
Yes,
across the lot,
exactly.
and they have like that swing like Frank Sinatra remake of Down with the Sickness playing. So it's just like I can't help every time I think of Disturbed, I think of come on, you know, and down with the like the way he's doing. Like I can't like every time I hear that song, I'm thinking of that version now. So I mean, but yeah, no, Disturbed's dope. Man. Disturbed's dope.
That
And
version
that's
was a
another
little
one that's on my
creepy.
playlist. Like that's the thing. Like my playlist will then jump to like Disturbed and Slipknot and shit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. So it's just like it's all over the place, man.
yeah. It's a shame the drummer died just recently from a
Did he
slip.
really?
Yeah, Slipknot.
I did not hear that. I heard that the drummer for Rolling Stones just died,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's 80, so that
yeah,
makes sense. But
yeah. No, the drummer for Slipknot passed. It was it like a couple weeks ago, I would
oh
say.
wow, I did
Yeah.
not hear about that. What
Mhm.
he die from? Do you know?
You know, I didn't read up on it. I just know he
Okay,
passed, but I'm not sure
wow.
what it was. I don't know if it was COVID related or not.
Mm, dang, dang, man, that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you got ICP doing the farewell tour because dude's having heart problems apparently.
I know
Yeah,
exactly. That's crazy.
dude, all the legends are just dropping, man.
Yeah. You know, I think it all for like the rock and roll world, I think it all started from David Bowie.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, it
they
was like,
like,
yeah, it was like
yeah,
it's
after
like, yeah, he
David
came like a
Bowie's
catalyst.
exactly after David Bowie, you
Mm,
start hearing about all these big name rockers like passing away.
yeah, I
Yeah, it's
mean,
crazy.
I think we're just in kind of one of those. I mean, every generation has their legends, and I
Mhm.
feel like we're just at our age or just in this time or whatever. We're just in one of those eras where you know there was a lot of great music that came out around the time 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So now we're in the time where those people who came out 30 years ago are now in their 70s,
Oh, I
80s,
know.
dying. So like I
I
think
know.
we're in a time where we're 30 years down the line from a time of great music. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
No,
that's
I know you're right. You're absolutely right.
yeah, it's just it sucks that we have to, it's one of those times where we're just, seeing all our heroes, pass away.
Hmm.
But
And what about TV shows? Are you currently binge watching anything?
not right now, man. I think the last thing here's the thing that is ironic, obviously, with being an actor and auditioning for TV shows all the time. I am the worst at watching TV shows. Like
Oh,
I
okay.
watch movies. I watch movies all the time,
Yeah.
but I'm bad for watching TV shows. Like
Okay.
literally, like I got friends that recommend stuff to me. Like I still haven't watched Game of Thrones. I, I haven't finished Westworld. Like I'm just so bad at like seeing TV shows all the way through, man. I think the last series I watched all the way through, start to finish, was it was either The Witcher
Oh, yeah.
or start to finish. Well, obviously the Marvel shows. Like I'm a superhero nerd, so I mean, obviously
Okay.
I watch all the Marvel shows.
Oh, okay.
I mean, every time they come out, I'm like, yeah, I'm on it. WandaVision,
Yeah.
Loki, I'm on
Yeah.
it. Falcon Winter Soldier, I'm on it. So I mean, yeah, that's different. That I don't put that in the same category as watching TV shows. That's superhero shit. Not saying it's not, a legitimate television show. It's like to me that's a separate part of the brain. It's
Right,
like
right.
watching TV shows and watching superhero shit. That's two different parts of the brain.
And is there anything coming out that you want to push your plug? Like anything you're allowed to talk about that you want to push?
Yeah, man. Obviously the Nest, obviously go get it. It's available, obviously Redbox, it's available in stores, Target, Walmart, Amazon, online. Like you can buy it pretty much anywhere. Obviously, thanks for bringing up the Night Courier. We just finished that. It was like a month or so ago. We finished that, and it's gonna have its premiere actually this weekend at a film festival that's actually going to be in Asheville, North Carolina, called Catfly Film Festival. And I'm actually hosting that with my friend Jeff, who's also an actor and a producer. So we're going to be hosting that in Asheville this weekend. So the Night Courier will premiere at its first festival on Friday night. And then it'll do its festival run over the next year. And then it'll be available like online or something the following year, sometime in 2022. So that also I have another movie that's out on Apple TV and Amazon Prime for rent or purchase right now, which is called 7 Short Films About Our Marriage. It's a love story, romantic, not a rom-com, but a romance love story, trials and triumphs type of movie that I shot out in Texas a couple years back. Nice. And it had a really successful festival run. It got into a festival called CineQuest that's out in San Francisco that we actually we premiered there, world premiered there. Well, no, we premiered there right before, like literally the week before the pandemic. Literally, like the week before the pandemic, we had our premiere, and then this festival was actually a 2 or 3 week festival, and they shut down the rest of the festival after that first week. Man. So we were the only ones to see it, and I went out there with my girlfriend and one of my best friend Jeff. We actually went out to San Francisco to see the premiere. It showed like right before the pandemic, and obviously that threw everything off the rails. And then when festivals started going online, it started showing on the online festivals and stuff like that. But now it's on Apple TV, it's on Amazon, available for rent purchase. 7 Short Films About Our Marriage, directed by Chris Hansen and my co-star, or the other star, because we're both, my wife in the movie, China Walker, who is she's awesome, man. She is one of the dopest actors I've ever worked with, man. She is fantastic. So I mean, it's a great story. It's basically it follows the couple Noah and Madison and Noah, China and myself, from our wedding day until the day that we do or do not get divorced. That's open to interpretation, but it basically follows us over about 10 or so years of our marriage. And it's a real genuine story about what marriage is really like. A lot of love stories that show you the highlights. But this is more focused on not necessarily the lowlights, but the things that you encounter as a married couple, with finances, with trying to start a family, with trying to build your careers, with, her parents not really liking me that much. And just different things that people deal with on a day-to-day basis in marriage, and how they approach them realistically, not, in a movie way. Exactly. Yeah. So it's a beautiful story, man. It's a beautiful movie. I loved it. It was a big moment for me. My first lead role in a feature film ever. So it was a big, still is a big deal for me. And that's available right now too. And then one more plug. It's a movie coming out. It won't be out till next year though. It's called Moonshot, and that'll be on HBO Max. That's starring Lana Condor and Cole Sprouse, which if you ever grew up watching I know who that Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and like he was obviously him and his brother were the kids on Big Daddy, my favorite Adam Sandler movie. So him and Lana Condor, who she's doing her thing too. She was in a show called Deadly Class, where it was a high school for assassins.
I saw that.
She was in that, and then she was in another one that got a lot of buzz. I think it's To All the Boys Who Love Me, or I can't remember the name exactly, but she's doing her thing. So they're the leads in that film, and I'm in it too. So, and that'll be out next year on HBO Max.
Wow, awesome, man. You got a lot of good stuff coming up, and you
Yeah,
even
man.
you even
I'm I'm wor-
start.
I'm I'm working, dude. I'm working on it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Every day, man, laying those bricks. So I mean,
yeah. You
I've been
definitely got a lot of good stuff coming out.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And I've been real fortunate. You know, I've had some really good people in my life to keep me on the ground and
Yeah.
keep me focused. You know, I'm a dad. I got a 9-year-old son.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, man. So I mean, he obviously he's a lot of motivation to make this thing work because
Exactly.
you know it's you know, one thing obviously I want to give him a better life than I had, which my upbringing wasn't bad. It was I was well taken care of,
Yeah.
but you know, to be able to give him even more, to show him a whole different side of living and, you know, the world at that, you know, it'll be a great, I'll be very proud to do that. And then also just to show him that, you know, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's,
no, yeah.
I don't have, I mean, I don't have any family in Hollywood. I don't have any friends in Hollywood. Like I didn't grow up acting. Like I'm a complete outsider. So
Exactly.
I'm just kind of, you know, I'm just working. I'm just, you know, taking every opportunity I can get, not judging it for how much it pays or how big the
Hmm.
part is. It's an opportunity, and you know, I gotta pay my dues. I gotta prove my worth, and I gotta work through the trenches and to
Oh,
get there.
definitely,
So
definitely, yeah.
that's what it is, man.
Nice, man. And where can fans find you at? What's your pages, your socials?
Oh, all Drez Ryan. Yeah, just Drez Ryan. I don't have any pseudonyms or anything like that. It's just, you know, I don't have any like nicknames or any like great one, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's like which that would be dope. I would love to be called the great one because I'm a big rock fan,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly,
But
exactly.
oh man. But no, just you know, Facebook, Drez Ryan, Instagram, Drez_Ryan. And then if you want to, you know, see what I've done or what I'm doing, IMDb, Drez Ryan.
Mhm.
So I mean it's all Drez Ryan, man.
Sweet. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been really fun, and it's always
Heck yeah.
good to find another guy who likes wrestling too.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know, there's more guys that do. They just don't want to admit it. You know what I'm saying? They're shy. They're like, nah, I don't really like that. I mean, maybe when I was like 4, like, okay, yeah, okay. You don't flick on Raw and get nostalgic
Right,
every now and then and start
right.
losing your shit. So no, absolutely, man. I grew up loving it, man. Like I said, but you know, I am very biased. You know, I love the Attitude Era.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously the '80s were great for wrestling.
Yeah, of course,
They were fantastic for wrestling,
of
but I mean, there's
course.
something special about the Attitude Era, man. I don't know what it was, but it was different, and I loved it.
It was definitely wild.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I think we were 12, we were children and teenagers watching bra and panties matches. Like you remember the bra and panties
I
match?
do. I do.
Like literally you have like Sable and Tori Wilson or somebody just
Yes.
ripping clothes off each other. I'm like,
Yes.
we're kids
Yes.
watching this shit, man. It's just like it was something else. It was different, man. It was different.
Oh man. Well, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. I want to thank you
All
again.
good, man.
It's been so much fun. Thank you.
No, thank you, man. I've had a great time with you too. I appreciate the time.
Definitely, buddy.
Mm.
Well, we'll definitely have a good night and rest of the week and weekend.
Thanks, man. You do the same. I'll talk to you.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, I see you.
Bye.